a man can dream, right? We can all sit back and dream, what if Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings opened up that list? You see, there are a number of ways you can talk about lists. You know, in my brain, I'm thinking about Chris Jericho. You just made the list. I'm thinking about that song. You know, your kiss is on my list. Something, 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 something. Guess what, though? Dylan Larkin's list is short as hell. This guy wants to leave the Detroit Red Wings. He's only opened his list up to 4 teams: Minnesota, Florida, Vegas, and Dallas. And there are a number of other organizations that would probably give the Detroit Red Wings exactly what they're looking for if Larkin would be okay going to those destinations. As we know, Dylan Larkin has trade protection on his deal, but his deal's a pretty long deal. It goes until 2031, and the perspective that Steve Yzerman had when he was the general manager of the team was, hey, if you're not going to open up your list, we're not going to trade you. Like, you're just going to stay here. You're committed to our team. What, are you not going to show up? If you don't show up, we don't pay you. You get paid to play this sport, and no matter what happens, whether we find an appropriate package in exchange for you or not, you are still contractually committed to us, so we're not going to go out there and just trade you because you want it. You got to give us options here. And so with all that said, let's dive into what was talked about by none other than Jeff Marek and Max Bultman in, Friday's episode of The Sheet podcast, run by Jeff Marek, of course, from July 31st. Marek and Bultman discuss possible fits for Dylan Larkin. They name Montreal, Boston, and Philadelphia as good landing spots. Marek wonders if a Seattle Kraken trade could work since they have the picks and prospects, but Bultman doesn't think so. He says it would be a tough sell for Larkin. Now, I'll just say this right off the bat, I agree with that last thing very much. There's no way in hell Dylan Larkin is accepting a trade to go to Seattle. Nobody is accepting a trade to go to Seattle. Artemi Panarin was offered a bunch of money to go to Seattle. He said, no, I want to go to LA. Jason Robertson was offered Connor Bedard money to go to Seattle. He said, nah, I'll take less in Dallas. I'll wait a year for Tyler Seguin's contract to expire, and then I'll re-sign for more money later on. The bottom line is, even though Seattle might be seen as a great opportunity for players to go out there and showcase themselves on a big stage with lots of room, there's no way a player like Dylan Larkin, whose main objective seems to be either 1, to win, or 2, play with his buddies from the American Olympic team, there's no way he's going to be accepting a trade to Seattle. Now, here's the thing about these other teams. These other teams do have guys that Dylan Larkin may be willing to go to and play with. The Philadelphia Flyers, they've got Trevor Zegras. Larkin was seen hanging out with Z in the offseason at New York hotels and at, World Cup games? Something like that. The Montreal Canadiens, they've got Cole Caulfield. He's also somebody in that bubble of American players. Both of those guys not necessarily Olympians with Dylan Larkin, but still guys that D-Boss has established ties with. And then the Boston Bruins, you've got Charlie McAvoy, which obviously is one of the best American defensemen in the league. Larkin would be probably privy to playing with him if given the opportunity. But here's the thing. Even though Montreal, Boston, and Philly do seem like great destinations for Larkin as a player and as a personality, I just don't know how much it's going to take for Larkin to actually open his trade list up to those teams. Like, I feel like if you asked Larkin, hey, you want to go play in Montreal? We've got an offer for you. You can play with Cole Caulfield. Lane Hutson's over there. They made the 3rd round this previous year. They could win a cup with you on it, Dylan. I personally feel like the guy might actually be okay with that. But the fact that the Montreal Canadiens were not included on his initial trade list, and the fact that that list has not expanded much since it was first reported over a month ago, that's what makes me feel really odd about this. It's like, was a lot of the holdup in the Dylan Larkin situation more so just because Steve Yzerman was in charge and Larkin and Yzerman apparently don't talk? Are they going to wait for a new GM to come in and then try to pitch Dylan Larkin on the future of the Red Wings by sitting him down with the new guy and trying to come to common ground it that way? Who knows? I just feel like these teams and the players that are on these teams would give Dylan Larkin enough reason to willingly accept the trade to them that it just feels weird that it hasn't happened by now. You know? Like he's spending his offseason hanging out with the Hugheses and Caulfield and, San Francisco running backs or whatever it is. Like, it feels like a situation where he would be okay with leading this into the regular season. That's just the way these American dudes seem to function. Even if the Detroit Red Wings wouldn't like it, even if they understand that this is not the outcome people would have wanted to see, even though this is probably the reason Patrick Kane ended up leaving, Dylan Larkin, if he's able to get a good trade package from a team like Montreal, Boston, or Philly, I'm sure the Red Wings would be okay with that. One thing's for sure, though, the Red Wings are certainly upset with the way things have gone down so far. This was reported by Helene St. James last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that, in the middle of July on the Jason Gregor Show in Edmonton, that the Red Wings are extremely upset with Larkin. He is signed to an 8-year deal that was front-loaded. His actual salary, they already paid him $31 million. The most he makes the rest of the way is like $8 million. So, from a financial point of view, obviously the Ilitches are probably not feeling all too hot about this situation as well. It's like, yeah, you're making $8.7 million a year from 2023-2024 to 2030-2031, a full 8-year contract. 8 by 8.7 is $69.6 million, but most of that money was already paid via signing bonuses, and that is already given to you. They're not going to be able to take that back. The rest of the money that Larkin is going to be paid is a lot less compared to what they already gave him up front every July 1st as a bonus to start out the year. The Red Wings, they were milked dry in this situation. All the money was given to the client, and then now he's asking out, and now he wants to leave. I can understand why Detroit's main idea would be trying to remediate this situation and let Dylan Larkin feel comfortable and okay with being a Red Wing once more, even if it means his captaincy gets removed and he is no longer the top dog on the team. If Mo Seider gets the captaincy this upcoming season, I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed with that. But I think also it would just be a lot easier to make that transition, to just cut the cord clean. If Dylan Larkin was okay going to a Boston or a Montreal or a Philadelphia, I think Larkin coached under Rick Tocchet would be pretty good. I think Larkin playing the Boston way would be pretty good. I think Larkin playing behind Nick Suzuki would make that team a powerhouse. If not, they're already a powerhouse. So Montreal, Boston, Philly, I do like these teams as destinations for Larkin. I have no reason to believe that Larkin would be unwilling to go to these teams. It's just the trade list that he's got hasn't been updated in a month, and from that perspective, it feels weird to think about how those four, Dallas, Florida, Vegas, Minnesota, are the only teams, supposedly, that Larkin could go to at this point. I feel like that's not going to last, but either way, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.